current subscribers. Subscribe a friend today and get these limited edition MCG collector coins for free. It's that easy. Choose from 3 designs: Wicked Fast, Race Ready, or Street Fighter. For full details, call 225-274-0609 or visit our website at MoParCollectorsGuide.com.
In September, the rolling hills of Kentucky become abuzz with Pentastar power. For this one weekend, Bowling Green, Kentucky is not celebrated as the birthplace of many a Corvette, but rather ground zero for an epic gathering of Corvette killers, affectionately known as Mopars. This is Robert Wolf reporting from the center of the Mopar world for September of 2023, the Holly MoParty in Bowling Green, Kentucky. We're back at Beach Bend Raceway Park for what is now the 4th year running of Holly's Mopar show, the MoParty. The long-term weather forecast was looking good and big crowds were expected for this year's show. Unfortunately, the weather would later fall apart by Saturday afternoon, but by then everyone was already there, and by any measure, this was another banner year for the show. So much so that going into the future, the powers that be will have to expand things outward to accommodate all that's going on. And at this show, there's a lot going on. The MoParty is a non-stop blur of drag racing, autocross, ride and drives, dyno testing, crazy burnouts, a wing car parade, tug of war, and even an off-road track for the truck and Jeep guys. Add to that a growing swap meet and a car show side, and you can see why this Mopar show is like no other. I came to the show specifically looking for this car. It's not a clone, but rather one of 3 Richard Petty's actual race cars from 1974. First question, is this the real one?
This is a real Petty car.
So this is the 74 Charger that he raced?
74 big block version. Yep.
Okay. So how did you come about this thing?
Okay, not my car.
Yep.
So I'm the event coordinator at the Talladega Museum, the International Motorsports Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Met Bobby in 2019, and he begged me to keep the museum open and do some projects on there, keeping people coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So we started building cars and doing things with all the money we put on a car show, of course. So Mr. Tim Wellborn, everybody loves him. He had put a Hemi in here, which did not belong once upon a time.
Right.
And he saw we were playing with the cars, and he yanked his Hemi out of this because he knew we were going to get a hold of it. And this car had a 426 wedge in it, and we put a 440 in it and made it look just like the motor that was in there. And now we're having fun with the car, taking it to events, and we're advertising our event, and all the money that our event brings in is raised to do projects at the museum.
Okay, so what's the name of your event?
The Heritage Preservation Event.
And when does that happen?
October 27th and 28th this year, and it's the last weekend of October every year.
If my memory is correct, last year was the first year for that event, or is that not true?
Last year was the second year.
Second year, okay. Okay, so everybody's talking about it. It was a great event, so I think they're looking forward to the new one, and I think
already sold out.
It's growing every year, and
right.
that's a good thing, right?
Yes.
So if they want to get in for the following year, how do they find you guys?
Great thing about the following year, we're bringing in the Aero Warriors reunion with us.
Okay.
On top of what we're doing. You can go to our website, imhofhp.com.
Mm-hmm.
We have all of our ticket sales there, and you can just go onto the website and you can see about the entire event. And of course, when you come to our event, you will put your car, or you can if you choose to, on the Talladega Super Speedway. And also for the select cars, we take you over to Barber's Motorsports Park and take you on a full road course.
That's
we'll
cool.
Put you on that one as well.
That's real cool.
Yes.
So if you bring a car, you're going to be on the banked track.
Yeah, that's exactly
Yep.
right.
How fast do you let them go?
Well, the pace vehicles do about 90. If you lay back, we do about 145.
And how fast do you have to be going before you slide down that embankment?
You have to do 90 to stay
90
up.
to stay up? Okay.
Yes.
Well, that sounds like a good time, nonetheless.
It is a good time.
So walk me around this car. When you got it, from what I can see here, it's original paint on most of this car, correct?
Yeah, the paint is all original.
All original,
We've done
okay.
nothing to the paint.
Right.
This damage is done from the lights at the museum after
Right.
40 years sitting under those old antiquated hot lights.
And do you think this is lacquer on here? What is this?
This is the acrylic paint.
The acrylic?
So
okay.
it's all
Yep.
busting up.
Yep. And so you guys did some decal repair.
So what we did to the car, besides the mechanicals, is we stripped every decal off, remastered it, but we wanted them faded like the other ones. So we made sure that the car the decals doesn't look brand spanking new while the rest of the car looks old and faded.
Right, looks good, looks good. Now all of the tin work and all this is original to the car?
That's all original. We didn't do any this car's body was the way you see it.
And you told me something fun when you pulled the bladder out of the tank. What did it say on it?
So in the bladder, if you can see with the fill fueler, this goes on either side.
Right.
And one side says Riverside,
right.
The other side says Circle Track.
Okay.
Depending on where they do the pit stop, you would actually move the inlet to the other side.
Oh, that's cool.
So that, then it also is date stamped.
Okay.
The date stamp is October of 1973.
Okay, so it's still the original bladder.
And the bladder's out of Arkansas.
That's cool.
So.
That's cool. Inside, what did you do to it? Is it all original?
We did nothing. Not a thing, other than we fixed wiring. Matter of fact, that ignition system in there, it's got two of them. So if one goes bad, you just switch it over to the other side.
Right.
We are actually using what we got the car with. Now that having an orange box, I would bet you Tim Wellborn got this car and did some things in
and when he put the Hemi
October.
In,
I think he swapped that over to the orange box.
Okay. Now,
and then this is his sticker from when he took it to the
Goodwood overseas.
Overseas,
yep. So under the hood, you kind of mimicked what was there originally pretty close. Who did the air cleaner for you?
So we have a guy named Justin Blue. He's a hobbyist. He took the air breather from Wellborn's, and he actually made a mold of it and made it just like it. So he made it just like it. Looks just like the one that was on there, and he did the metal work, fiberglass work, everything, and he did it for the parts of the materials.
And how they gave you the carburetor, and where'd you find the intake?
The intake, finally got one out of New Mexico. I think there's a six-pack shop out in New Mexico had this. We actually almost came close to having to use a regular 4-barrel.
Really?
Reason we were is because everybody wanted $3,500 to $4,000 for that intake.
Right.
And we're on a budget. We do this out of fun.
Right.
We found it for $1,500 delivered.
Cool. The valve covers look like they're fairly era correct there.
The valve covers, if you go to Wellborn's place, you will see Cal custom valve covers identical to that and painted identical to that.
So the motor that he has in his back room is actually the original one from here, correct?
Tim will never admit to that.
Okay.
And he'll never admit that those headers are. and I love Tim. I've worked with Tim for 13 years down at his museum. So no, I don't know that for a fact.
Okay.
But we made it look identical to his motor that's on display at the Wellborn Muscle Car Museum.
Right.
That's a 426. This is a 440 though.
Okay. Cool.
And we added a hydraulic clutch because I don't have Superman's leg.
But you can still squeeze through the window. I'm proud of you.
I've had a lot of practice with the Johnny car in this car.
It's a great piece. I appreciate you putting it back together for everybody to see. So they can see it in the museum all the time?
We will have this back at the museum at our event, and then it will be there all off our season.
So if they're running through town or whatever, they can stop and see it.
Of course, Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals invited us, and as long as the museum allows us, we should be there with it.
Okay, okay, but if you don't make it to any of the shows, you can go down to the museum anytime and check this thing out, right?
Check out our Heritage Preservation.
Perfect, thank you. Wondering how much horsepower your car's really got? There's a dyno set up for just that. One of the coolest things for racers and car builders is Holley's experts are all on call for the weekend to troubleshoot and share their knowledge. As they did with Little Miss Leadfoot's Mopar Collector's Guide's Dragster.
Yeah, because you got 12 volts on the red, and you're not getting anything out of the blue.
That's what I think. I got a bad diode here.
Yeah, so...
You have another one in the shower?
Yeah, I got one.
Alright, ran down Jerry here. I've done some cars for him in the past, but this one's very special, Jerry. Tell me about this one you've been hiding.
I bought it 50 years ago when I was 17, and it was pretty cheap at the time, and I called my girlfriend up and told her I bought her something, and she thought it was an engagement ring. So I did go over to her house, and she opened the door, and she said, "You bought a car?" And she slammed the door in my face. Okay?
Well, you know.
Now, that's my wife. So, so that was 50 years ago, so we'll forget about all that.
So that was in 1973.
Yes, it was.
So in 73, now, if you didn't notice, this is a real Hemi car.
Yeah.
Original paint, rubber bumpers.
Not the original paint.
Oh, you've been painted once?
It's been repainted.
Okay.
Repainted in 73.
Okay. So it was repainted before you got it?
Yes.
Okay. So what's the story on the car itself? It was on a used car lot, or?
Well, It was sold brand new in California, and I think the guy was in the service, and he was going to like New Jersey or somewhere, and it got wrecked in St. Louis.
Okay.
So a body shop actually bought it out of the salvage pool.
Okay.
And they must not have paid about $200 for it.
Okay.
And they repaired it, and that's where I bought it. So.
What'd you pay for it back then?
I'd rather not say.
All right.
Pennies.
Well, I know probably pennies. More than 200.
I bought this in '73. I bought my Superbird in '74. I bought my Daytona in '75. I still have them, and I got less than $6,000 in all 3 cars. So,
all 3 cars.
So you can figure
so
it out.
You do pretty good.
Yeah.
So I've never seen this one out before. Is this?
No, it's been sitting in a shed.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd do the mechanics on it and get it going and get it out.
Well, thanks for dragging it out. It's the first one I noticed this morning, and I looked at it and I was like, that's not a normal car. We got to go check that out. So thanks for dragging it out for us.
All right, no problem.
Well, here's something you don't see every day. A garage-built, Ed Roth inspired bubble top rod motivated by a 440 with a tunnel ram. All right, this is Erie Eric. Come over here, Eric. So tell me about this crazy shit.
I started out with a 1965 T-Bird, cut all the ugly off, and built what was left.
All right, so we cut all the Ford out of it, right?
Yes, I cut all the ugly off.
Yeah, we cut that off, and we ended up with MoParty in the front.
Yeah.
Right? So what are you running for a powertrain?
It is a 440, tunnel ram, 2 450 Holly carbs.
Right.
Nothing real nuts done to the motor, just regasketed. Motor originally had 19,000 miles on it.
Well, it doesn't take much to move it around. What does it weigh? Nothing?
About 23, 24
that much?
Pounds. That's about it. Radiator and everything is in the rear. Fuel cells in the rear. Air pump, air tank, rear end, the 4-link. There's so much between here and the bumper that it's just shoehorned in.
Okay.
There's no room.
So everything went in the back, huh?
Yes, yeah.
So how hot does it get underneath the bubble?
It gets a little warm. The summer months I really don't drive it out. I'll take it to shows, but you don't want to be in there.
Right.
Like right now, this in the spring is when I usually take it out and run it. It sat most of the summer, so I took it out 2 days ago, ran it to work, and it did okay, so I was like, all right, we'll come here.
Well, the cool thing is you did all the work yourself. You painted this thing, you did all the fab work, everything you did yourself? Yeah, that's really cool.
Took about 5 years on and off. I just kind of set out to build like the hardest thing I could think of at the time.
Right.
And the bubble top was it.
So were you inspired by the old rods?
Yeah, kind of.
Or how did you get the basic vision for it?
My buddy Aaron Grody built another one called the Atomic Punk. It was a 59 Savoy with a Hemi motor in it. And he posted a video with a GoPro behind his shoulder, and he's running it on the Illinois country farm roads. Right. And all you see is the back of the motor, and he's just jamming. I'm like, I want to do that, you know. And we're friends, we're really good friends, and it was just one of those things. I messaged him like, I'm doing this. He's like, all right, yeah, man, go for it. So it was kind of it was neat because when one guy inspires somebody else, it turns into either the guy's going to be like, no, you can't do that, I did that, or push it further. Yeah. And I love that. So I love showing this because people see it, and if I can inspire them to go further, I want to see their interpretation of something like this, or just something wild.
So the price of entry is hours of work. So how many hours of work?
5 years on and off.
Okay.
I don't know the exact amount of time. I know the year-wise, but that's really about it. I worked on it here on and off, and just kind of, I get stopped here and then. Like, I knew I wanted the 440 because of the mechanical menagerie of the motor itself. Right. The alternator and the distributor and everything on this side. Over here is kind of a dead zone. So I knew I wanted asymmetrical front end. So I did this. Everybody's like, you got to do 2. I'm like, it'll look dumb. So I stuck to my guns. I did this, and then this was created about a year before I came up with the bottom there, because I knew I wanted something, and I kept buying like Edsel grills and stuff like that. And I just couldn't think of anything to go there. Right. So the one day I was mixing paint in the paint room, and it was like a Friday, and I just kind of drew that up. And I drew it 2 ways. I drew it upside down, and I drew it that way. And I looked at it, I'm like, that's it. So by Monday, it existed. And so it's all at a round bar and just 18 gauge. And by Monday morning, it existed. That week, I did the body work to it, and that was that. After that, just wrap up the rest of it.
So is most of it glass, or is most of it metal?
It's all steel.
It's all steel.
There's no fiberglass in this car. There's body filler in it. Right. It is a show car. Right. There's no fiberglass. Cool. I blow bubbles. I somehow made a career blowing bubbles as an adult. I don't know how, but whatever.
It works for you.
Did the taillight lenses in my wife's oven in the kitchen, much to her dismay.
Right.
That took a lot of Yankee candles to get that stink out of the kitchen. She was not happy. But,
so, beautiful piece. It came out really nice.
Thank you.
Definitely the craziest piece here.
Yeah.
Check out this loaded, unrestored dealer promo 1971 Charger RT Survivor we found on the show car field. All right, Tim brought this incredible car here. It's would you consider it a promo? What would you consider it?
Or a dealer promo.
Dealer promo
with all the unique options that you could get that year.
So 1971 RT Charger. Tell me the option list.
It has the wiper squirt cleaners for the headlights.
All right.
Hideaway headlights. It's got the convenience center where it shuts the headlights off after 15, 20 seconds.
Right.
I don't know how long that is. Rear defogger, 6-way power, not power seats, 6-way seats.
Mm-hmm. Cloth seats.
It's got the ring blow steering wheel. Cloth seats.
Is there a cassette player in it?
Cassette player with the microphone.
Power windows.
Power windows, and everything works.
Right. So as best I can see, it's all original paint on it. You said you put a new top on it.
New top.
Someone down the road had done a black top, which was not original to it.
Right.
And you replaced that and got it back to closer to stock. Beautiful piece. What are you going to do with it?
I'm just going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what happens down the road. But my plans right now are just to enjoy it.
And leave it alone and just leave it like it is.
Yeah.
It's a perfect patina.
Yep. Okay.
As Saturday night's parade of show cars was getting ready to hit the track, one of the highlights of the MoParty, and my personal favorite activity, was also getting ready to roll. The Australian-style rolling burnout contest. The motor.
It's a 318 with a just a mild roller cam, of course, and stock heads, low mileage. But then I put a Super Sniper for a Holly, and then a big old honking eBay turbine.
All right, so what do you think your chances are tonight?
My chances are, as long as it drives off the track, I'm a winner in that.
Good luck, man.
In the red
Asphalt car.
Okay, that's pretty cool. What do you got under the hood?
It's got a 318, 340 heads.
All right, what kind of gear you got in it?
I don't even know. It's actually not mine.
Whose is it?
My dad's.
Oh, does he know?
Yeah, he's got a YouTube channel.
Well, he'll know now.
Let him get fixed.
All right.
All right, what are we doing here tonight?
Then we're gonna let them.
A little bow duking.
This is too nice for this.
And of course, we want them to blow time.
Looking good, man. Looking good.
Right? Yeah.
All right, tell me about this one.
Right.
78 Gremlin we built in 13 days.
Uh-huh.
Small block Mopar, running on methanol, and hopefully it's going to pop these casings in the back. That's what we're hoping for.
Good luck. Be safe.
And then, hey, honey. And then.
All right, what's the plan here? You got some tough competition.
Yeah, we got a lot.
You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
I'm gonna say how many.
All right, you think a girl can win tonight?
If you think
You got this? Flying the MoPar flags, the American flags, you are ready.
We're going to put on a good show.
All right, good luck. Have fun.
we're not without a street.
Got it wired for action? What's under the hood?
383.
383, you gonna win this thing?
Probably.
All right.
Probably.
Good luck.
I mean, it really, it'll smoke.
As the sun slowly set over Kentucky, the smoke rose to epic heights. While all these guys and gals put on a great show, it was this Gremlin that literally blew the tires and crowd away, taking home top honors. If you like this video, please smash the like button below, and while you're there, help us grow this channel by hitting the subscribe to MoPar TV button. It's absolutely free. There was so much going on over this weekend we couldn't possibly cover it on this one video, so for more in-depth coverage on these and many more Mopars from the MoParty, make sure you have a subscription to the only Mopar magazine that matters, Mopar Collector's Guide.
Well, that's a wrap from the MoParty. Until next month, I'll see you on the pages of the MCG.
Handcrafted and curated by Mopar enthusiasts for Mopar enthusiasts. Subscribe today and get 12 monthly mailed issues of MCG, access to over 400 digital issues, free monthly classified ads, and a free Mopar t-shirt for only $39.95.